All right. This is a 2006 Lexus GS300. I'm changing out the factory head unit. I'm putting in the aftermarket. I already have it. I put it in for test fitting. This is just a test fit. Any aftermarket radio that you want to put in, it's gonna the screws, they bolt right up, man. I mean, it might look, if you have it out, it might look like it's not gonna sit straight, but your radio has to go down at an angle a little bit, because if it was to go even with this, then the radio would stick out like this. It would come out more angled, but you want it to go flat down. You want it to kind of be even with this part right here. And you're gonna have to make you some make you some brackets, make you some little pieces of ABS plastic, man. Just trim it real good, then just let it sit. It'll just sit right in there, man. This radio doesn't have a CD player. It's just a multimedia unit. Doesn't have any mechanical parts or anything moving in it. Okay, to do this, what I'm gonna have to do, or what you're gonna have to do, is you're gonna have to relocate the factory unit, the bottom part of your radio. You're gonna have to relocate this to the trunk. There's no way that you can put an aftermarket radio in this car and not have this hooked up, because, and I'm gonna show you here in a second, it has to be on. This has to have power to it, and I'm gonna show you which wires you're gonna need, and I'm gonna show you. I didn't want to do it at first, but I kind of felt like if I want to sell this car, the radio is just gonna have to go with it, because I mean, it can be done. I can put the factory back in here. It's gonna be a little work, but I can, it can be done. But what I'm gonna have to do is these plugs right here. These plugs will have to be cut. Leave a considerable length on it in case you do want to put these plugs back up here. But these plugs are going to be stretched all the way to the trunk, where I'm going to put the factory radio. All right. Now, you might look at all these wires and be like, damn, that's a lot of, wires you got to stretch. You don't need all these wires. Let me explain it to you. Okay, all three of these plugs has data wires. Your data wires are these two wires right here. This light green and blue. These two wires right here. You must have these going to the radio. These must be connected, or you're not going to get your AC controls and all that other stuff. Your temperature is not going to show, all that. But you got to have these two wires. These two wires are on each plug. Need a little focus here, a little focus. These two wires are on each plug. It's right there on this plug right here. The blue and the green right there. And on the big plug right there, the blue and the green. Okay, now here's the wires that you're not gonna need. This plug right here, this plug is mostly your steering wheel controls. All your steering wheel control wires are on this plug. There's one plug that you're gonna have to, there's one wire that you're gonna have to send to the back, and I'm not too sure about it. I'll make an update video if I find out what it is, but it's just this one wire right here, this black wire. These other wires, besides the two data wires, these other wires are for the steering wheel control. I know at least 3 of them are for steering wheel controls. 3 of these wires. Okay. This wire, these right here, this plug is for the CD changer. Yeah, this is for the CD changer. There are 4 wires on here that you do not have to connect. Those 4 wires are the red, black, white, and green. You do not have to connect those 4 wires. Those 4 wires are speaker output. Those are the output that goes to the amplifier to get you your sound. You don't have to connect those. This big plug, pretty much basically the same thing, but most of these are power, ground, dimmer, accessory, and ground. Well, I already said ground. But you got your 2 data wires. You're going to have to connect those. You're going to have to connect the ground. You're going to have to connect the, you don't have to connect the orange wire, which is the dimmer switch. There's the orange one, and there's a green one. There are two dimmer wires. This second one right here, this green one, that one doesn't have to be connected. What you're gonna do is you're gonna connect this to the dimmer on your radio, on your head unit, the unit that you're gonna install. But once I get all of this connected, and I'm gonna do an update video on this and show you what all I did and show you everything that's working. I've tried to do this before. That's why you see these T clamps on here. And I didn't do the research. I've done deep research on this now. And there's a guy that actually done this. There's one guy that I know that actually did this. And I didn't believe him when he told me that I have to run the factory radio to the trunk. So I got kind of frustrated and just put everything back the way it was. But now I put amplifiers and stuff in here, and I'm not satisfied with this factory system. I'm not satisfied with it being amplified. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you what you can use. Get you some Cat 5E Ethernet cable. Don't worry about sound. You don't have to worry about sound because you're not going to have any sound coming from your factory system. Your sound is coming from here. So you don't have to worry about any engine noise or stuff like that, because loss of signal or whatever, because you're not going to have music playing through the factory system anymore. So get you some Cat 5E Ethernet cable. And yeah, we'll see how this turns out, and I'll post an update video real soon. I'm finna get started on this right now. I'm finna cut these plugs off, connect the wires that I need to connect. See, I got my little mini butt connectors. These are the little small ones because those wires are small. And yeah, the Sony radio, this radio here, which is the 3200, it's got the model number right there. If it'll focus in, that's the model number. It actually comes with the plug for the steering wheel controls. You're gonna have a ground, input 1, input 2. So this already comes with it, so you don't have to get a and you can program it in the unit, so you don't have to get a steering wheel control module to go with this, because it's already built into it, man. Sony's a beast, man. Sony is back, man. Sony is back.